Hi everyone, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I'm gonna craft a little bit. I unexpectedly have the day off, and so first let me say welcome to my channel. And I noticed I also have a few new subscribers. I don't always get notified when I get new subscribers, but I've gotten about 3 lately, so I just wanted to say thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome, and a warm welcome to all my regular subscribers as well. You're so very special, and I appreciate you joining me. But like I said, I have an unexpected day off. We've had lots and lots of rain in North Carolina. I didn't realize to what extent, but apparently roads have been washed out, and we have high winds today. So they said schools would be on a 2-hour delay last night, and then this morning we got the call that school was actually called off for the whole day. So my mind went straight to crafting, and since we are still a week away from Valentine's, I thought I would create some vintage shabby chic style hearts using corrugated cardboard and paper and fabric, because I've been inspired by some that I've been seeing, and I have a couple gifts I'd like to give. And I'd like to make these sort of like doorknob hangers or wall hangings. So if you want to make one with me, I thought maybe we could do that together. So I love using corrugated cardboard because you can just use what comes with the boxes, that your things are shipped in. So I'm going to use a variety of papers, doilies, and then like this is what I cut out of one of my clay boxes, the boxes the clay comes in. And then I just see it says high water clay. I'm going to actually cover that with paper. And you just basically get underneath there and tear off. Well, since this side's coming off easier, I'll do this side. Isn't that cool? So it tears off and leaves a nice little shabby surface. And I've just started getting into the look of this, and I really like it. I've seen Char Fisher do it, and Debbie from Crafty Stuff, and several people using corrugated cardboard. Like, what is it about it? I don't know. I think it's just the ripply texture that I like. Like for this part, I don't even really have to tear it all off because this is going to be covered with decoration. So that's how I get my corrugated ripples to show up. You just tear that surface paper off. But I have one here where I didn't tear as much off because I think when I start covering it, a lot of it's going to get covered up, but we'll see. So for this one, I think I want to ink it. I was disappointed about this Distress Oxide because I ordered it from Joann's when they were having a free shipping, and when it got to me, it was pretty dried out. But you know how you always have the intentions of taking something back and then it never gets returned? That's kind of what happened here. So instead, I sprayed this walnut ink on the pad. I think that'll work. You know what? Bear with me 1 second. I want to go get some protective paper because I don't want to ink up my tablecloth. So I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. So yesterday we were having lots and lots of rain, just steady pours of rain coming down, and I got home from school and it was both my boys were home. My husband wasn't home yet. We heard the loudest bang, and it was just like one loud bang. I've never heard a bomb explode before, but you could literally feel the vibration in your chest. It was lightning, and my son came running out of his room and he goes, "Mom, I saw it hit. I saw it hit." I mean, he saw the flash, I should say. He doesn't know where it hit. But that's just an example of how much rain and really severe weather we've been getting. And then a lot of the schools were closed yesterday in other counties, but this morning when they called to say school was closed, apparently North Carolina is under a state of emergency because of the weather. So I had no idea it was so widespread and really doing a lot of damage. So I'm praying that everybody will be okay and nobody will get hurt, because trees fall in this weather a lot here. We live where there are lots and lots of trees. I had stitched around these sentiments a while ago, so I thought I'd go ahead and ink these now. And I'm not sure I'm going to use them yet. But since I have the ink out, I like to work in a process for anything that may need inking. So I'll set those aside for now. And I have every kind of glue. So I have the fast grab tacky glue, clear tacky glue. I have the regular one, but I didn't bring that one over here. I've got a cheapy glue stick and my oh so trusty Fabri-Tac. And I even have my mini glue gun. So hopefully with all of these options I won't need to jump up and grab anything else. But I want to put this down. Yeah, I think just with the glue stick it should stick it okay if I'm generous enough. I should probably put it on here instead of on there. So I think the last time I visited with you I was battling a really nasty cold, because many of you know I just started teaching again, and it's just part-time in the high school. I'm teaching ceramics 1 and 2, and then I fill in for art 1, but hopefully that's done now. I think they finally found someone. But anyway, new germs, you know how that is. So I'm feeling much better. I still have a little cough, but I've been managing to get to bed on time, nice and early, getting plenty of rest, drinking lots of fluids as Mother always suggested, and I'm feeling better. So thanks for your well wishes. I have my little cup of coffee here, so I'm going to take a sip. Excuse me. And what else? Oh, I want to try to put something really nice and shabby here, and so I spent a little time tearing strips and cutting ribbons. So I have a big pile here, and I'm just gonna make a random little bundle. Actually, I don't even think I need that one. I think I have. I put my glasses on here. There we go. Oh, a little light on this subject. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little stack of ribbons, I think, and then tie them together. I love this. This is just a piece of nice linen fabric, and I kind of tore some of the strands of thread out. I'm going to shabby the edges of that a little bit and just keep layering. And there's one. Okay, so I'll put a little more eyelash trim. Eyelash trim always gives everything such a nice amount of dimension. And then I also thought to pick up the musical note theme, which is, this is just scrapbook paper, but I do have some music note fabric. So I tore that into a strip, and I'm going to add that in the mix here. Snip some of that, a couple of those I guess, and then tie it all together and we'll see what we end up with. Actually, I also have I crinkled up some of this muslin fabric that I tore, and it stays wrinkled and shabby too. So let's see what we come up with if I just kind of mix it all up like this. Yeah, I like that. These are a little short. And then I'm just gonna tie it. Where'd that other piece go? I'm gonna cut this one because I need something a little bit longer. So teaching in high school has been interesting. Thankfully, it has not been as treacherous. I think I was very anxious the first week. It's been a very long time since I've taught in the traditional classroom, and the kids were very gracious. I have to say though, when you're teaching a class that kids are excited about, it's much easier than, say, you know, mandatory math class or something like that. And I can tell these kids are really excited about learning all about clay. You don't always get a lot of respect when you're an art teacher because people think art is just a goof off class or a fun class or an easy A. I've heard it explained that way before too. But they don't realize that to be an art teacher, you still have to take all the same college courses that every other teacher has to take. And I've had to do all these online assessments, and you have to, you know, get licensure, and it's not just a cakewalk because it's art. I wish it were, because I don't like all the administrative part of it, but you have to do it in order to do the job in the public school anyway. I don't know about, well, that's not true. Private sector too. I did teach in the private sector. I taught at a Christian school that had K through 12, but that was really short-lived because my son was so young, and both my boys had asthma for many years. That was really hard to keep controlled. Thank God they've both pretty well grown out of it. They still have it, but it doesn't wipe them out like it used to. So, I don't know. I like that, but I think it might still be, let me shabby it up a little bit more. It might still be a little too long for what I was thinking. But I have these flowers that I'm gonna stick in the middle. But I want a little more bulk. So let's see. I know I'm gonna use that. I just love working with fabric and paper together. I have these flowers that I glittered a while ago. Well, these I actually got on a stem at Hobby Lobby, and they're really inexpensive, but I like them because they're the tightest and the nicest size for fabric roses. They're in the silk rose section. I don't believe they're silk, but they are a nice fabric. And then these are paper, and then these I've already glittered. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure I want glitter on this because I really like the vintage shabby look, and I mean glitter can go with shabby. I just don't know if it's vintage, but I guess it can be whatever you want it to be. And then I have these little ones I really like. They're little paper ones. But what I'm getting at is I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put any more layers on here, and I think I am. Let me think about it for a second. So I think I decided, instead of working on the flowers, I want to add a little more decoration down here. So I have this rectangle tea-dyed paper doily. Hold on. Sorry, Rusty's bark can be so shrill. I think it can scare you if you're not expecting it. So anyway, I thought I would tear this and add just a little bit to the bottom of my heart here, just to add a little decoration on top. It might get totally covered up, we'll see. So it's interesting, though school was called off because of the rain, it's not raining at all today. It's all drying up really well, and I think it was more that the roads have been washed out, and we're kind of rural in some of the parts of our town. I remember when school was called off several days in a row, and we kept going, why is school called off? I don't see why. Well, I didn't know how far back some of these roads go, and so though there was no ice on our roads, the roads way back were iced over, so the buses couldn't get to the students. So it's probably what's happening now. They say the roads are washed out in some areas, and quite a few trees are down. So that would make for an unsafe situation. So I know I really like to add a little bit of rustic, excuse me, with I think that makes it kind of shabby and vintage. So I'm going to add a little bit of this burlap, and I'm going to peel off some of the strands and see how that looks. Maybe just as a strip across the middle, and this on top. Do I like that? I think I am gonna like it after I start all my layering. This part still seems a bit flat. Not sure what I'll do about that just yet. We'll see. To the left of me, you can't see it right now, but I have a bunch of ribbons in a box, and I'm just rustling through it all. I'm thinking, I really like this one. This is vintage lace. And I'm thinking of just adding another little bow underneath so that there's a little bit to fill in this space, which I think I will do. Make this, do I want to make this more narrow? I'm going to add hot glue here. I think I'm just going to wrinkle it a little bit. Oh, I need a glue stick, of course, that always happens. Okay, there we go. I'm going to wrinkle this a little bit just to give it a little bit of lift and dimension. And it wasn't hot, yay! So I'm going to hold this there a second. So we got a long weekend because it's Friday, and then Monday, no, not next week, but the week after, I think is President's Day. So we'll get another long weekend. So needless to say, I have a happy son. I have a freshman in high school, and they're always grateful for a day off that's unexpected. I'm feeling pretty good because I was all ready for school today. They had a quiz and it was done. I did my assessments that took forever, and I was all ready for school. So the good news is I get to craft now because I don't have anything else I absolutely have to do for work. I'm sure I could come up with something if I needed to. I'm just kind of messing with all this now. I think I'm going to move this down so that I can put a flower right there. Sometimes the only way I get a design to work is to just plunge in and do it. instead of overthinking it. So that's my goal right now, is to plunge in and do it. And you know what? I think it'd be kind of pretty to do one more layer of, oops, I might have pulled too many out that time, of burlap, just to repeat the texture, and people will know that's under there. And then I'm going to stick a flower there. Yeah, I will do that. But my older son, I'm jumping around from topic to topic. Apparently the rain didn't bother him because he got out and off to work, and he had to leave really, really early. So I texted him a little while ago and said, "Did you make it to work okay?" And he said, "Why?" Yeah, why? So apparently he didn't have any trouble with bad weather or washed out roads. And we do live rather rural. So if there were going to be any washed out roads, we might have them. And then my husband didn't say he had any trouble. So thankfully, we're okay in our neck of the woods. So there's my rose. I'm going to stick it right there. I'm just going to hold it there so it'll stay put for a minute. Anyway, I've been enjoying watching many of your videos, and unfortunately I haven't been able to join in on many challenges in the new year. I'm really hoping I get to. I know Ivy Ling is having one where she's doing sort of a friendship journal where you send her a page and a tag, and I'm really going to try to join in on that one, but I can't really commit to many more because I'm still on a bit of a learning curve with my new job, and it's every day, which I hadn't been having to work every day. But I am now, which is fine, but of course, as you know, it takes up more time. And then I get home and I'm exhausted. So I think this week, the first week was really exhausting. This week I feel much better. Like my body's starting to get used to it. But I also had a cold. I think that wears you out too. So we'll see how it goes. So far I'm very grateful and it's going really well. Alright, so now I'm going to stick a few more flowers here and there. Put one there. Unfortunately, this middle one I just stuck down, I feel like it's starting to fall apart. I may have cut it wrong, I don't know. So these little ones are also going to serve as an anchor, I think. Hold everything in place. I had to cut some of that off. It's not going to work. Okay. What do you think so far? Is it losing its cohesiveness? I don't want it to just look like a muddled mess. That's what I get so impressed about with many of you crafters. Have so much finesse, and you know how to just put everything right where it looks best. I tend to start pulling things off and over squishing things. And eventually I do like it once I get to the end. And I always second guess myself. Let's see. So far, so good. I'm just gonna study this for a second. So I've been putzing along here and sort of sizing things up. I went ahead and put some of that paper doily on the back, and I tried one of these flowers here. That's what that bright green is from the leaves on it, but it didn't really work there. So what I think I've decided to do is I'll turn it this way. I want to add a little more layering by putting another doily. Oh, no, no more fibers. Just another little crocheted doily here. Maybe scrunch it a little bit. And then I made a bow just by tying several different ribbons together. And I think I'm going to stick that on top. Oh, it's a little wrinkled here. Which way would be the front? Let's see. I think I'll make this the front. Like that. Let me turn it around here. And a little more hot glue. And I'll plop that there. So I wasn't going to use the rose with glitter, but it was the right size. So I think it works okay. Oh, that ended up pretty. So I have a nice layered bow in the middle. And a little bit of eyelash trim. And some of the burlap. And this is what I've come up with. Let's see, maybe I'll pull some of the doily out a little more. Yeah. And then I made this hanger. I think it'd be prettier with like a pewter looking wire hanger, but I don't have one. So I kind of gathered up more fabric, and that might be good to kind of repeat what's going on in the bow. So I'm going to glue this on the back. Let's see. It would be nice to stick it down with a little bit of embellishment. I have some of this. Let's see if I can make that work. I have these stories. I have twin stories. I'm thinking I might share a few twin stories with you when I do these little craft and chats, if you'd like to hear them. My twin sister and I, and yes, we're identical. Sometimes poundage makes a difference from year to year, but that's about it. And right now I'd say we're looking pretty much the same. And this high school that I'm teaching at now is the high school both of her kids graduated from. One of them just a year ago. So it has been very challenging walking down the high school. Well, both my sister and her husband were very involved in the high school, and their son and daughter were both athletes and very good athletes, so they were always at games and activities for the kids. And so now that I'm teaching there, and I look just like Mrs., I won't say her last name, but basically they all think I'm my sister. And they're like, I didn't know you worked here. So I'm like right in the middle of hugging people and saying hello, and I'm not who they think I am. So I actually feel more sorry for them when they find out that I'm not, you know, the right person, because I'm used to it. I go to the grocery store and I don't say hello to someone, and then my sister gets a call and they'll say, were you in a bad mood because you didn't speak to me? So we love that we get to live close by each other, but it has its hazards when you're a twin. And to be quite honest, that's why we don't go to the same church. We started out going to the same church, but it can get kind of scandalous when somebody thinks you're with the wrong man. So it's easier if we kind of keep our distance in social settings. Sort of easy. Then it's a little bit challenging too, because then, like I said, if we don't announce to everyone that we are twins, many people end up not knowing for many years. So we hear stories later about how someone just thought we were in a bad mood, or maybe we didn't see them and that's why we didn't speak, when really it was just because we didn't know that person. So Karen and I both make a pact. We're like, okay, any and everyone, just speak, smile, and act friendly, because they're all going to be confused. But that's how it's been our whole life, and it's okay. I'd rather have it that way than not get to live close by and see my sister when we want to. It makes living in the same area a whole lot better than all the way across the country. Okay, so that's what I decided to do, but now I'm going to see about putting this in the middle just for a little more decoration on the back. Let's see how that works. I think that's pretty. I wonder if I have even more. I'm looking for a tiny little flower or embellishment. I don't think I have anything over here right now. This might be a little overkill. Nah, I don't like that. It's not necessary. It is the back, so we'll just leave it like that. Just a little shabby dangle on the back. And that's how it looks in the front. Oh, you know what? No, should I put anything there? It might make the heart shape go away. I'll try it and see. I have a little more of this. I'm just going to see if layering this little piece of crochet flower is going to change the look too much. I don't think it will, but I do think it's going to need let's see, maybe a little more in the middle. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and just letting me chatter and craft, because I'm really having fun, and it's actually nice to know I can sit here. I keep thinking, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to, I'm like, wait, no, I don't. I can just actually sit here and enjoy myself. You know, this is where I get myself all messed up because I don't know when to stop. So, let's see. Oh, I have this little burlap flower. Ooh, that's cute. Is that cute? Oh yeah, that's cute. If I do say so myself, I'm kind of liking that there. Oops. Of course, there's no glue stick in there, so pull out the big guns. The Fabri-Tac. Okay, I pulled out the Fabri-Tac. Now where'd my little flower go? I don't know, so I'll cut another one. So I think I'm about to the end of this one. Really, really lots of fun to make these. And I don't think they have to just be for Valentine's Day. I think they'd be great just to hang in a little shabby chic spot anywhere in your house. But I have a couple friends that I want to gift some things to. I think these might be among them. Oh, that's cute. I think that was probably the little touch that it needed, just to pull out some of the burlap in another area. I wonder if I have another one. Here I go. My niece always says, Casey, you're doing too much. I hope I'm not doing too much, but I thought I had possibly one more burlap flower. Okay, that might just be a sign that it's not meant to be. Actually, I found it. Would that be too much? I think it just took away. Did it get too heavy? Help! You can tell me in the comments if you think that was too much. If you think it's just right, I'll put it back. I do think something brown there would have been nice. Maybe I have to make that doily stick out though. For now, I'm going to go without. For now, I'm going to just stick that there. Ooh, maybe another. What about another glittery one? Oops. Too much? For now, I better walk away. You know how you have to sometimes walk away and think about it? I think I'm in that spot right now. So rather than get myself all confused about whether I should or shouldn't, I think I will call it done. I could just put this here somewhere. Oh, I do like that. I have another tiny little rose that would be pretty right there, and then just stick down the sentiment, which is probably what I will do. So let's stick this on. What's good about Fabri-Tac though is if I change my mind, I can take it off without much harm to the actual fabric. I like that there. And I just love watching you all. So many of you have such, like I always use the word finesse, and it is truly finesse for laying everything in the perfect spot. And I'll get better as I do it more, I guess. But for now, let's call this done. So in the back I have the dangly piece with my bow and the word love, and I'll tilt it up so you can see. So this is getting a little long, and I've chatted enough, long enough, and I'm gonna make a couple more and I'll show them to you maybe at the end of the video. But I enjoyed visiting with you, and thanks for joining me, and I'll be back again soon. Bye. So I jumped back on because I paused the video and I just sat here and kept crafting. I didn't really mean to craft the entire day, but I think I actually have. So this is the first one I did, and it's finished now. And I didn't put anything else. I just really like how the little love sentiment is all you see, and no big flower. I'll let the middle flower be the more prominent flower. And then I started layering again with just scrapbook paper and music paper and doily, and I ended up with this one. And the hanger is just eyelash trim. So I have this one, which is very shabby and pink, and these are some stickers. I probably have gesso on my hands too, so I decided to mute them a little bit to go with the paper rose. And then these are just some parchment roses. There's just all kinds of stuff on this one. The only thing I didn't do on this one was ink the edges. I just thought sometimes you don't really need to do that step. So this is another shabby hanging Valentine card. The back is just some scrapbook paper, but I thought I could put just tea dyed paper and write a sentiment of some sort on the back. So there's that one. And then the last one is this one. And I just Again, used the corrugated cardboard and layered it with just a little French emblem there, and paper flowers, and doily. There's a little doily there, and then I ruffled some of that linen fabric, and I made a little rosette. I don't know if you can see that going around the edges, and then I put a paper flower in the center, and a seam binding bow with a little satin ribbon, and then some lace trim underneath. And there's that one. And the back has just got a piece of tea dyed stationery, and you can write on it. So I really enjoyed crafting with you today and showing you what I've created. And here all three of them are. I thought I was done making Valentine things, but with our unexpected day off, I thought I have a few thank yous I need to get out, so maybe these can accompany my thank you or be a part of my thank you. But I shall let you go now. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and I'll look forward to visiting with you again soon. Bye.